Okay.
Mom, what are you doing?
I'm mixing up the beginning to make sourdough English muffins.
Oh, awesome.
And I have to mix up the starter stuff now, and then 8 hours from now, after it rests, then I have to add some more flour and stuff, and I have to mold it, knead it, and then spread it out and cut the muffins.
All right.
And then they have to rest for 45 minutes covered before they bake in the oven.
And what have you done now in this bowl?
This is 4 cups of flour here.
4 cups of flour. Okay.
And this is 1 cup of flour and 1.5 teaspoons of salt,
Okay.
2 tablespoons of sugar, and 1 teaspoon of baking soda.
All right.
Mixed together, ready to go into here after I've stirred in the sourdough starter and the milk.
Okay. Are you doing that now? That's what you get out of the fridge.
That's what I want to do right now.
All right. Let's do it.
Out. Yeah.
So then you go to the fridge for the container of sourdough starter.
Yep. And I'll have to stir that for a while. So you might as well turn that off.
I don't think so. It's all real time.
Okay, well it's going to take a while to stir it even.
Oh, that's all right.
Anyway, what I can just tell you what the next step is because it's hardly anything.
All right, what do you do?
I mix up a cup. I stir this up and I put a cup of it in here because it's the double recipes I'm making.
Okay.
And I put a cup in there.
Into the 4 flour
into
cups.
the 4 flour cups with the. This is on the side. That doesn't get mixed in now.
Okay.
I add the sourdough and milk. So I would be adding oh shoot, where is it?
Please watch your language.
Just to stop. I said shoot.
Yes, please. This is a family video.
Okay. Oh yeah. 1 cup of starter and 2 cups of milk. I'm going to run out of milk, but Diane's bringing some.
So 1 cup of starter and 2 cups of milk
2
is
cups
what you
of
put
milk.
into the 4
I'm-
cups of flour.
I'm going to be stirring that into this.
All right. So right now you took this starter out of the fridge and it looks like it's separated,
It
which is
is.
why you stir it.
It always does that, yeah.
All right. So you're going to stir that vigorously
Yes.
or stir it thoroughly, maybe not so vigorously.
Thoroughly. I don't want to have...
Yeah, don't be vigorous because then it will spill all over the counter.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
So then after you stir that, you take 1 cup of this stuff and 2 cups of milk and
Right.
add it to the 4 cups of flour.
Right.
All right. Very exciting. This is like one of those cooking shows on the Food Network.
You wouldn't want to have that on the whole time I'm stirring this because it's going to take a while.
It's all right. I'm just showing the process.
It's not easy to mix it up really well. Takes a while.
Granny G's Kitchen here on the Food Network.
This takes
We'll be right back.
some real muscle work.
Here's a shot of what it looks like when it's thoroughly stirred. You can see the separation is gone. Now it looks uniform white. This is just an old mayonnaise container that Mom uses for the sourdough starter. Now she's measuring a cup, right?
Yep.
1 cup of sourdough starter. All right.
You know,
Now you're going to pour the 1 cup of sourdough starter into the 4 cups of flour.
I'm going to pour it in. I'm not
All right.
stirring it yet because I have to add a lot of milk too.
Not stirring it yet.
And I'm going to run out of milk.
Uh-oh. You can use almond milk.
I might have to do that.
Yeah, you can substitute some almond milk.
Yeah.
So you're going to add 2 cups of milk from the fridge to that, what you just did.
Yes.
Which is the 1 cup of starter in the 4 cups of flour.
Enough. And I have to add more milk into the starter to feed that again.
Oh. Do you want to do that first so you have regular milk in the starter?
I don't know what time.
So that's 1 cup. You're going to need 2 of those to go in.
It's not 1 cup full.
That's not 1 cup yet.
Not quite.
All right.
Just stir this up.
So you've To the 4 cups of flour, you have added the 1 cup of starter and the 2 cups of milk. And now you're stirring it all up to mix it thoroughly.
Yep.
Of course, that other container of stuff you haven't used yet, the other dry container in front of you.
Well, that goes in at the end of the 8 hours.
Oh, the end of the 8 hours. Oh, okay.
It doesn't go in there now.
So you're going to thoroughly mix this and then cover it, or?
And I told you what went into that, right?
Yeah, you told me what went into that.
Yes, I'm going to cover it with a cloth.
Okay. That's so Dad doesn't get into it?
An old, like he would get into it.
Keeps him out of it?
I don't think he'd try to eat this the way it is now.
Well, it all depends if it tastes good or not.
Well, it wouldn't even taste, I don't think. Okay. Now this is going to have a cover. I used one of my dishcloths from zillions of years ago to cover it.
Does that let it rise? What's the purpose of covering it for 8 hours?
To rest.
Rests?
That's the best way I can describe it. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do with the directions I had. Glad I had enough milk to do the rest.
And where did you get this starter from originally?
Julie Brooks.
Julie Brooks, when you moved here in 1971.
Way back, well, approximately, maybe it was 72 or 3, I don't know.
So this starter could very well
way
be
long ago.
50 years old.
Easily.
Because Julie had it before you had it. So it could be even older than that.
I wonder if she's still using hers.
Well, we should call her. So you're covering it with a dish towel, putting it underneath so it's completely covered.
Yeah.
And we're going to let it sit for 8 hours.
Yep. So we'll be to be continued tonight.
But now we have to take care of the starter.
Now, this is a half a cup, hopefully, about.
Half a cup of milk.
Yeah, that's it. Half a cup.
Okay.
And that, I have to feed this, you know, I have to add to this to keep it going. So I have to add a half a cup of milk and a half a cup of flour in there.
That's it?
Well, for now it is, after I get that done. Yeah.
So, what other ingredients are in the starter other than milk and flour? That's it? Whatever's in there originally, the cultures just stay in there
Yeah, it's just staying.
and multiply.
And since I didn't make them for a long time, I was surprised it was still alive. So it's I'm just adding a half a cup of milk and a half a cup of flour because I don't have room to add more than that anyway.
So it's always equal proportions?
Well, to put in there, yeah. And I need a half a cup of flour. I'm so glad I didn't run out of anything.
Do you just use white flour?
Regular white flour, yep. Unbleached or bleached, I don't think it matters. And Diane's getting some more for me because I'm getting low on it. And it's a half a cup of each because that's all that'll fit in there without overflowing. Because it does grow a little bit in there, rises.
Okay. And then do you put this, after it's stirred up, do you put it right back into the fridge?
No, I keep it uncovered out.
Oh, and let it rise.
Yeah.
How long do you do that?
Well, it doesn't rise that much, but I just leave it that way until I'm ready to make the muffins tonight.
You'll leave it uncovered for the 8
Yes.
hours that the other thing is resting.
That's right.
And then you will cover this and put it in the fridge again?
Yep.
How do you prevent the bugs from getting into this? Do you cover it?
Well, no, I don't cover it.
Oh, wow.
But we don't have a bunch of bugs in the kitchen anyway.
How do you prevent other things from falling into it?
Well, I have it at the back of the sink, and it's not somewhere where anybody's doing anything.
All right. Just want to know what we're getting in our
But
muffins.
since I can't find my other hearing aid, who knows where that
It
is?
could be in the mix.
Hi, it's been 8 hours since we mixed the first part of this up. And now I'm going to add the cup of flour with a little bit of sugar and baking soda and salt. I'm going to add that to this. Look how it raised
Oh, look at that.
way up.
It's got bubblies.
Yeah. And I'm also going to add...
No, you're not adding
No,
that
not
now.
adding. I usually, in the beginning, have added, or not usually, but often in the beginning, have added a cup of oat bran.
Organic oat bran. Why would you do that?
Makes it more healthy and interesting. I don't know.
Okay.
It's
Adds fiber, maybe?
yeah,
too?
fiber. Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So you usually do that, or sometimes you do, sometimes you don't?
I usually do that. I have 2 bags of this in the refrigerator,
All right.
but I just forgot to do it.
So your
mixed it up
English
this
muffins
morning.
that we ate growing up, did it have the oat bran in
It
it?
often did. I
Okay.
didn't always use that, but it did.
Okay.
It has. Okay, now I'm going to dump this mixture of flour, salt, sugar,
Mm-hmm.
and baking soda.
Right.
It's in the recipe.
You described that earlier, yep.
And I'm going to dump that all in here.
And that's 1 cup of stuff.
One cup of the flour. And,
Right.
And
Oh, and the other things.
just the other things, yeah.
Yep. So you're gently folding that in.
Well, gently to start with, because if I tried to stir very vigorously, it would fly all over
Are you
the
going to get
place.
vigorous?
I'm going to get vigorous when I start kneading it.
Okay.
That's a shame to have all that video time with just this, though, because it goes on and on. I think I would stop for this
How
part
long do you do that for?
till it's totally mixed in.
Oh. Is that going to be like a half hour?
No, but it's longer than I would think you'd want to have on your video.
Oh. Seems like you're almost done.
Oh, I'm almost, but then it's going to take me a while when I'm over there. I'm going to be kneading it for maybe 3 or 4 minutes, and you probably don't need to capture every speck of that either.
Sounds like you almost want to direct this video instead of just be
No.
performing in it.
No, it's just...
So you think you can be a better director is what you're saying than your son John.
Right.
So maybe you can just take over. Why don't you get behind the camera
Oh, and you'll do
and
this?
I'll do that.
Because you don't know what to do next. That's one reason why.
No, I don't.
I'm going to put some flour on this board over here at the table, because that will, more of this flour will get incorporated in it, because I have to knead the dough.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I took off my rings that would have gotten caught in the dough and gotten all goopy.
Mm-hmm.
I took those off so that I wouldn't worry about
Does
them.
Dad know you take your wedding bands off?
I didn't take
frequently?
the wedding band off, just the
Oh,
engagement
okay.
ring.
So it's like you never got engaged.
Well, Dad doesn't even think about that.
Because he doesn't wear a ring. You never did.
That's right.
Never wore a wedding ring.
I know, he wouldn't do it.
Unbelievable.
He had a class ring from high school and he didn't like wearing it, so he just never wanted rings. I think I'm going to need even more flour than that, so it doesn't get all goopy.
You need more flour before you knead. Right? Is that what you just said?
No, not exactly.
You said you were going to be kneading.
Yeah, I sure wish I did have that cup of oat bran in this.
Why? Does that make a difference with the kneading?
Well, it would make it stiffer, and it would not be as
Oh, it wouldn't be a sticky
it
doughy?
wouldn't be as messy and sticky.
Oh.
Okay. What I like to do.
It looks like the Blob from that 1960s movie.
The gloves.
The Blob.
Yeah, that's what it's like. That's going to be a pretty long video, isn't it? Because I'm going to be needing this for, well, you can turn it off and turn it back on, right? Well, I'm getting ready to knead this. I have to knead it, but it's goopier than usual because I don't have the oat bran in there. It seems messier than usual.
And at this point, you can't add the oat bran because it's already been resting for 8 hours. That would kind of mess it up.
I don't think I could have incorporated it very well.
Right.
Maybe I could have, otherwise I don't know. I didn't want to try. Okay. See how it's sticking to the board? It isn't always quite this messy, but it sure is right now. Brother. It's messier than usual. Oh boy. Okay. This is a lively dough, that's for sure. Boy, I couldn't get over how much it rose in the bowl. I can kind of tell when it's still too sticky. Oh, guess what? I have to go down to the basement and get the pan that I used to cut
Oh, yeah.
the oatmeal. I mean,
Cut the oatmeal.
cut these things. English muffins. I have to go down and get the can that I use.
Well, I can run and get it.
No, because I'd be taking a long time telling you where it is. Okay.
Because cans are so hard to come by, this is the original can from the 1970s.
You don't know because there's no label on it anymore.
It's the original can. They don't make cans like this anymore. This thing is strong, thick-walled, and she never cleans it either. You can see the flour from the 70s around the rim. All right, what are you doing now?
Now I'm going to spray the pans, and then I have to sprinkle cornmeal on the pans after I spray them.
What are you spraying them with?
Cooking spray, olive oil.
Okay. Just so they don't stick
Yeah,
to the pans?
right.
All right.
I'm going to spread it around. I'm going to put some sprinkle some cornmeal on the pans.
What is the cornmeal for?
Just to help it make it not stick, and it also gives a coating on the English muffins.
No.
Now I'm going to sprinkle some corn. I greased the pans.
All right.
And I'm going to sprinkle some cornmeal, a thin layer of cornmeal, on each one of the pans.
Okay. And you shake it around?
Yeah, but looks like I need more than that there. Got a piece of dough here. Looks like I might have enough in the other pan. And I don't think they really need to have, that's maybe more than I needed. And what you need to know is I hadn't done this in a long time until last week. I stopped doing it. Luckily,
You stopped using the cornmeal.
stopped making English muffins for a
Oh.
long time. I'm just glad that the starter still works for me. Okay, that's good enough.
What do next?
Now I'm going to use this tin can here
Uh-huh.
to cut the English muffins and put them on these two pans.
All right.
This is, by the way, a double recipe from the original recipe I was given.
Now, is that a little thicker than you're used to cutting through, or is that about
No,
the
that's
thickness?
just about right.
All right.
Oh, and I do usually like to add a cup of oat bran. Did I say that before?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay.
But you'd have to add it 8 hours
I
ago
would have had to add
with the
yes.
mix. That's why we
Yes.
kept it out for now.
This has been resting for 8 hours. It seems a little goopier than usual, but it's probably because I don't have the oat bran in it. And I'm going to put some more flour here to flour the can. Okay. This is definitely softer. Oh shoot. Stuck to the I have to go get it. Oh, darn. And I usually get 9 of these, or 8, I guess. Let's see, yeah. 8 of these on a pan. So we'll see if I get 8 of them this time. Okay, now the other second pan. This is really messier than usual, I don't know why. I think that's pretty near.
Pieces together. And
Yeah, I'm gonna.
so then after you're done cutting out what you can cut, then you like put all the pieces together and make a new mat?
Make some more. Just make enough
Just
more.
glop it all together again.
Yeah. And incorporate some more flour. This, I really should have incorporated more flour, I think, in the beginning, since it did seem stickier than usual. I don't know why. Okay, I'm just kind of kneading this together a little bit.
What do you do with that last little bit?
I'm gonna cook it too.
Really?
Yeah.
And then what does it make? Like a strip of English muffin?
No,
Oh, make it a little tiny muffin.
yeah, a little tiny muffin.
Oh.
I don't know.
Do you always do that?
I don't always have a little tiny muffin.
That's so cute.
Isn't that cute? And now I have to put these 2 pans side by side and cover it with a cloth.
And why do you put the two pans side by side and cover with a
Because
cloth?
the cloth will cover both of them that way.
And why do you have to
I
cover
only
it?
have one big cloth.
You're covering it for how long?
45 minutes before I cook it.
Do you have to cook it right at the 45 minutes, or can you do it like 2 hours later if you
No,
wanted?
45 minutes later.
Just 45 minutes.
They have to rest for 45 minutes.
Would it be bad if it waited too long or rested too long?
Probably.
All right.
I think it would.
You heard the woman. 45 minutes.
I'm going to be putting these two pans next to each other now because when they're in that position, I can cover them with this one big cloth, which has seen better days. It dates to our camping trips a long time
Now,
ago.
what is the purpose of covering this?
That's just that's what I'm supposed to do as part of the directions.
All right, and what the cloth is from camping trips?
It's something that I think we were with people that we went camping with, and everybody was writing their names on it, and it said happy something,
Oh.
let's see, happy birthday. I can't read it it's upside down.
We'll check it out when it comes off.
Yeah.
So then you're covering
But
these for 45 minutes?
Any thin cotton cloth that can cover it. And it's going to rest for 45 minutes. So in about 35 to 40 minutes, I'll be turning the oven on and have it preheated
To what temperature?
to 350. I believe. Okay. I just covered the pans. Now they have to rest for 45 minutes. And then I'm going to be baking them at 350-degree oven. And they're going to get about anywhere between 5 and 7 minutes per side. I cook them about that long and I turn them all over and then they cook the other side.
So 5 to 7 minutes per side.
Mm-hmm.
All right. After 45 minutes of being covered on the table.
After 45 minutes of resting.
All
They're
right.
resting now.
The rest, there's a lot of resting involved in
Peacefully
this.
resting.
They rested for 8 hours and they need more resting?
Uh-huh. Now they need more resting.
Very tired muffins.
Yeah. So I'm going to...
Okay, Mom, what's the temperature again?
350.
350, and you're putting it in the oven
Yep.
for how many? Like 5 to 7 minutes on a side?
Yes.
And then you're going to like take them out and flip them all after
Right.
5 or 7 minutes.
That's
So you're
right.
setting your timer.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm setting it for 6 minutes.
And are you doing something to the sourdough over here? What are you doing to the starter?
Stirring it, and then I'm going to put the lid back on and put it in the refrigerator.
So this sat all day for 8 hours or more,
But
like the other stuff.
But it did have a half hour, it did have an addition of flour and milk, right?
Right, we saw that.
Yeah,
But you then let it sit all day after you added that.
that's right. It
Yeah.
opened like that.
And now you are stirring it to mix it thoroughly, and you're putting it back in the fridge.
Put the lid back on and put it back in the fridge.
All right. So in 5 to 7 minutes, we're going to flip all the English muffins and put them back in.
For the other side, yeah. Right. They don't really rise particularly. Okay,
Timer went off.
I'm going to take them out.
You're not taking. Well, you are taking them out to flip them, but they're not done yet.
Oh no, they're just done on one side.
This is so exciting.
Yeah,
Maybe we should move this out of the way.
and they're running into each other too.
Do they normally run into each other like that?
Not quite that much in the past, but don't forget that I just started using this again a week ago.
I didn't forget.
I didn't use it for a long time.
So you think it makes them runnier?
Yeah, well, plus the fact that I didn't put any bran in it, which, would have been a little less soft. But I don't think that really matters. Patty's the one that told me about the cornmeal. I didn't remember I always had that. Oh, I poked a, made a wound in this one. See, this is the second pan that I cut, and it's just, they aren't running into each other quite so much.
Because you added more flour?
No, I didn't really.
So why do you think that is?
Well, they got more flour on them, I guess, because of kneading them some more into a pile and, you know, patting them out on the board. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So maybe they have more flour so they're less sticky and runny.
Yeah.
There's the cute little baby one.
Yeah, you want to eat that one when it's done?
Maybe.
Okay. I'll just give it about 6 more minutes, I guess.
You said 5 to 7.
5 to 7. Well, 6 is right in the middle, isn't it?
All right.
I'd rather have it be a little bit overcooked.
The timer just went off and it looks like they're done. Although the cook will have to tell us.
There's
Take a
no,
look. Or there's nothing you look for
no
or anything.
specific way to tell if they're done. Sometimes they're a little tiny bit brown on the bottom, but they're probably done.
Did you ever cook some and then have them come out underdone?
Not that I know of, no. Oh, they seem done.
All right, they're done. And now you just sit them on the top of the stove until they're cooled down,
Right.
and then you pack them up.
I could put both the pans on racks on the table over there.
Is that what
They
you
probably
normally
cool
do,
off
or
better. I have done that.
like baking racks?
Yeah, like you would put cookies on or something. A couple of these.
Okay.
I'll put them over here. And let them cool down. Okay,
All right, and that's how you make English muffins.
that's how you do it.
I need last minute advice to sourdough starter maker bakers.
I think they got it all from your whole dialogue when I was doing it.
All right,
I think they got the whole idea.
that's how you make sourdough English muffins.
That's right.